Someone, it's a blessed is him. Time to read it and you have to get through. Time to you make you have enough money. Some for stop bad man from come kick down your door. You gotta keep people alive. Someone sings. Why does it sound so loud? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Blessed morning. Blessed Tuesday morning to you all. I hope you all are having a fabulous morning. It is it is actually Tuesday the 22nd of August of 2023. And this morning we are going to be starting the reading of the book of Psalms. Now, as I went over, this still sounds a little loud, but as I went over, the pre-reading for the book of Psalm, I read that the book of Psalm is actually a collection of poems back in the day, and that, according to Google, Psalm was written by a lot of people to include Adam, who is considered to be the first man on earth. So I was just like, okay, well, no wonder it is used so frequently, the writings in Psalm I'm speaking of. No wonder they're used so frequently because they seem to be as old as man. If they were also written by Adam, who is considered to be the first man. But anywho, we are going to be reading it for those of you who have been following us on this spectacular journey. We have been reading the Bible from beginning to end. A few days ago, we finished reading the book of Job, and though the book of Job still has some elements of mystery to it, we have done our best to read it, and it's never too late if you are just coming into my channel and you are just noticing what we do here every morning and you have an input. It is not too late for you to drop a comment under one of the videos and let us know so we can always go back, because learning never stops. It's not as though we finished reading the book of Job and so we are finished with the book of Job. No, there is still a lot of information out there that we do not have, that we do not know, that we would love to have. So if you have come across any literature that would enlighten the rest of us, you are more than welcome to drop it under one of the comments so that we can all learn and grow. Okay, so before we go any further, let me just say we do not endorse any particular religion, any particular denomination, or anything of that sort on my channel. What we do is we read the Bible. We are trying to read it and understand it from a layman's point of view, because I think, this is just my opinion, I think that every single person who claims to be a Christian or belongs to any particular denomination need to have read the Bible from beginning to end. There's no way you are going to be taking a verse here, a verse there from this book that should encompass my entire existence, and you are going to try to tell me about this book using a few verses? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think for every Christian, or if your denomination believes in Judaism, in Christianity, and they use the Holy Bible, you should have read it even once from beginning to end, so you're aware of what is in it and what is not. Okay, so since many of you don't want to read it, I have taken on that mammoth task of reading it for you, for us. So come over here on my channel every morning as I read, You can just listen. You can just make notes. You can follow along, whichever you choose, so that we all can learn together. All right. This morning we are going to be reading the book of Psalm. We're going to read Psalm chapters 1 through 6. So follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible and let us begin. All right. Let's let's begin. The book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 1. Blessed is the man that, guys, before I even go any further, I could almost say Psalm chapter 1 without even looking, without even looking at the Bible, because I grew up reading Psalm chapter 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in the law doth he meditate day and night. My mom taught me that chapter, Psalm chapter 1, since I was a itsy bitsy child, and I can recite that without even looking in the Bible. Hello, Finest Communication. How are you doing? All right. We have somebody in the chat, Finest Communication. Good morning to you. I don't remember your name, but I am going to look you up on my other device right here, just so that I do not forget you when the live is over. Maybe we have met before. Let's see if we have met before. How are you doing? Oh, graciously, we have met before. Welcome, my love. Welcome, welcome. We have met before because I am connected to you. But let me see if I've seen one of your videos. Yes, I've liked that. Okay, let me do this most recent one. Um, hotspot, hotspot EB, hotspot EB. Okay, let me allow that one to run. When I am done, I will take another look at it. But welcome into the live. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, I realize that we have met. We are not strangers, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming in, for stopping by. I sincerely appreciate you, my love. I will be sure to let you have some minutes later. Yeah, yeah. Because that's what we do. We gotta share ourselves with each other. Yes. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great Tuesday morning. Now let us begin with Psalm chapter 1. Psalm chapter 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Here ends the reading of Psalm chapter 1. Now remember, the book of Psalm, these are poems, and you notice how poetic they sound. It's a book of poems that have been put into all kinds of songs. If you are Jamaican, remember there was a song, I think it was by Fab Five back in the day, back around in the 1990s or 80s, somewhere around there, where it said, "Someone, it's a blessed is the man." Some of you may not know that song, but there are lots of songs, even the songs that we sing in church, that are that they put melody to the words of the psalm. And that is delightful because it makes a lot of us remember the Psalms, because otherwise, most of us wouldn't. Anyhow, let's move on to Psalm chapter 2. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion." Verse 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. That is the end of Psalm chapter 2. Are you convinced yet that they are poetry? That the chapters of Psalm are poetry? Not yet, right? Whatever it is, if whatever it is, if it's poetry, it does have a great ringtone to it. Does have a great melody to it that makes you want to read it. That makes you want to understand exactly what they're talking about. But this is not the stories like the story of Esther or the story of Job. So let us continue. And don't forget, guys, to follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible. Follow along with me. We are on to Psalm chapter 3, and it says, the foreword here says, a psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Now, for those of you who have been following me, you remember when we read the story of David when he ran away, when he ran to Gilgal from his son Absalom, because his son Absalom was trying to kill him. Now, Psalm 3 is a psalm of David when he fled from his son Absalom. Lord, how are thy increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of mine head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I awake, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast Hmm? Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord, thy blessing is upon thy people. Okay, so this is the end of Psalm chapter 3, which was written for David when he ran away to Gilgal trying to hide from his son Absalom, who was determined to slay his father so that he could be ruler over Jerusalem. Let's move on to Psalm chapter 4. Let me just pause to say, welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for coming into the live this morning. Thank you so much for coming into the Bible reading. At this time of the morning, each morning on my channel, we do the Bible reading because we are determined to have an understanding of the Bible for ourselves, which is something I believe every Christian, everybody who believes in the Bible should take on at this particular task. All right, so follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible, and let us read Psalm chapter 4. And Psalm chapter 4 says it, to the chief musician in Neginoth, a psalm of David. And I don't remember the name Neginoth, but I'm sure we probably have read it already. So let me take a look and see. Let me take a look here and see where in the Bible was Neginoth referred. And here, according to Google, it says songs of instrument accompaniment found in the titles of Psalm and Habakkuk. Okay, so I guess we haven't yet read it because I don't remember having seen the word, but I've read so many words already. It's possible that I could have forgotten. So Psalm chapter 4 says, to the chief musician in Neginoth, a psalm of David. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? But know that the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed, and be still. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord. There be many that say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. Verse 8, and this is the last verse of chapter 4. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only maketh me dwell in safety. Here endeth the reading of Psalm chapter 4. Now we are going to move on to Psalm chapter 5. Follow along with me in your book Bible or your Google Bible. And my friend Finest Communication is here. And while you are here, spending some time with me, I am also spending some time with you, my love. All right, let us move on. Psalm chapter 5. Give ear to my words, O Lord. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God, for unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fair will I worship toward thy holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness, because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face, for there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is is very very wickedness. Really? That's not that's not our kind of English, but that's what is in the Bible. Let me read that. Let me read that again. Let me read from verse 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fair will I worship towards thy holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness, because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. No, is very wicked. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy thou them, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou, Lord, wilt bless the righteous. With favor wilt thou compass him as with a shield. Here ends the reading of Psalm chapter 5. Now, you all will notice that the Psalms, they are very short around the beginning of it. The chapters are very short, but they are very powerful. And we know that as we go along, the Psalms will become more and more powerful. And that is why we always read a Psalm whenever we are in distress, whenever we can always find a Psalm to soothe us, regardless of the circumstance that we find ourselves in. And so most people know Psalms and more verses in Psalm than they know in any other book of the Bible. Some people only know Psalms. They know the Lord's Prayer. They know little verses here and there out of the Psalm, but not much else about the Bible. So here now we are going to start the reading of Psalm chapter 6. Follow along with me, guys. Psalm chapter 6. And this one says, it is to the chief musician on Neginoth upon Shemini, a psalm of David. And we know that the Psalms Most of the Psalms are for David. O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed. But thou, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine enemies. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. And I've got to read that part again. Verse 6. I am weary with my groaning. All the night made I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine enemies. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. Here ends the reading of Psalm chapter 7. And this is where we are going to end the Bible reading this morning. When we come back tomorrow morning, we will continue the reading. We will continue the reading of the book of Psalm. We will be reading some additional chapters tomorrow. So join me tomorrow morning around this time, anytime between say 4 and 9, when I will be reading when I will be reading chapters 7 through chapters 7 through 10. All right. And that is going to be it for me this morning, my friends. I want to say thanks to those of you who came out to listen to the Bible reading. Those of you who are coming out for the first time, I want to say thanks to you. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you. And that's going to be it for today. Until next time, my friends, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Now, have yourselves a great day, everybody.